The Steel City might be most associated with its legendary NFL franchise, but people here in Pittsburgh know that the ties to the Panthers run deep. Glad to have you with us here at Acrisure Stadium, home to the Pittsburgh Panthers. There's nothing quite like a great rivalry matchup in college football. The bitterness, the intensity, the lifetime of memories that will come as a result of what we're about to see in this one. As we'll see a squad from the AAC, the West Virginia Mountaineers, taking on a fellow AAC opponent, the Pittsburgh Panthers. For EA Sports College Football. Mountaineers will boot it away to start the game. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. The Panthers will be in a hole thanks to that short return. The toughness epitomized from the coal mines of West Virginia, the steel mills in Pittsburgh, and you better have a sturdy jaw in the backyard brawl.
Any name in a rivalry game that's the backyard brawl, sign me.
And he breaks into the open. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44. The Panthers want to pick up the tempo.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
He fires one deep down the right side. And it's caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Panthers! A great catch and run for 6.
Yeah, and that's simple, but it's not easy. It's a go route. Like that receiver's streaking straight down the outside of the field, and my job as a quarterback is to put that ball up in the air, keep it away from the safety. He does just that. Receiver comes down with the catch. Nice pitch, nice catch, touchdown.
PAT unit on the field. And the extra point makes it 7-0. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. So the West Virginia Mountaineers offense has its first opportunity of the day. And how about this matchup of a couple of guys who just don't get tired and don't mind being handed the football, Jesse?
And I love this matchup, too, because in modern football, it's all about throwing the ball and spread and tempo and air raid offenses. Let's go back to toting the rock, old school. 2 of the best running backs in the business here.
And the defenses now, like, they know the challenge. They know these guys are going to tote it. They got to be physical, committing guys to the box, not letting these running backs have success today.
What a good run there. He has enough for the first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. Wants to throw. It's Lawson. Quickly out to the tight end. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. This offense has a 2nd down play. The play action fake. Fires to the tight end. Last time these two got together, it was the Mountaineers winning a thriller.
Man, they've been eating pepperoni rolls for a year in West Virginia after that close win last year, David.
And the quarterback is snowed under.
You know, when you go dime personnel package, you've got extra DBs in the game, so it's harder to throw if you're the quarterback. There's just not as many windows. They've got more guys in coverage. You're expecting to at least have a little bit more time, but your offensive line, man, they just couldn't hold up.
And the Mountaineers will line up to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. They'll get down and put a stop to this return. They'll mark it at the 32. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. Handoff from the shotgun. Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36. Pitt right back to the line. From the gun, running back gets to give. He breaks a tackle. And they make the tackle, but the official has tossed his flag. Hold it, open. That penalty moves the ball back 10 yards. We'll replay the down. They'll line up for a second down play. He's looking to throw. Fires complete on the crosser. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Receiver looks it in, it's complete. And he couldn't quite get to the marker, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Pitt will line up to punt it away. They'll look to pin him deep. Hauls it in and looking upfield. Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down at the 24. 1st down here for the offense. He's looking to throw it. The sure hands, it's Jefferson. This is the kind of run that falls in the category of sanctioned violence as he's up to the 31. One running back in the backfield, and he has it. And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. Fires to the big fella. Really nice job there by both guys, the throw and the catch, to work that defense and get the 1st down. The Mountaineers come to the line with a new set of downs. From the gun, the running back has it. He get it down to the 35 before he stopped. 10-yard pickup on the play, and it's a 1st down. He wants to throw. That's caught. It's Jefferson. Running with pace, changing speed, showing the moves. He's down to the 30. And now on 2nd down for this offense. Wide receiver shows motion. Off the bootleg, wants to toss him. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
This is one of the things that makes this defense so tricky is they've got incredible speed at the inside linebacker position. Not only can they go sideline to sideline, run east-west, but they can run downhill on blitzes. They can get to your quarterback.
Now facing a 3rd and long. To the air, it's Lawson. Got his man. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. They allowed the completion, but this defense was swarming to keep them away from that 1st down line.
Yeah, and you allow completions in those 3rd down situations underneath the sticks, and you come up and rally, and everybody flies to the football. That's great execution by this defense.
And it's no good. He missed it. And they couldn't cut into the lead. It's still a 7-point game. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the football.
Yeah, and there's obviously no need to panic. I mean, think about it. You got the lead. You got the football. You got to be smart with the football. Make your plays. Put a good drive together here.
Finds his tight end. He's got enough for the 1st down. They'll spot it at the 37. Pitt pushing the pace.
They pick up the 1st down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job of those guys being on the same page there.
What a run, man. I tell you what, it's hard to pop runs. It's hard to get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards a lot of times. But when you got backs like this who can make huge plays with the speed, getting out in the open field, can take it the distance on every play, defenses are scared out of their mind.
Couldn't connect on 1st down, now back to the air. This time on target. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the 1st down. They probably feel good about their field goal chances from the 29, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the 1st through the air. It's complete. Oh, it's a fumble. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
Man, that's a big mistake. And listen, I'm still going to force feed my playmakers. If I'm that quarterback, I'm that OC, I'm walking over to that guy and be like, listen, it's okay. It's a little bit of a mistake. We're still going to find ways to get you the rock. You're too important to this team not to give you the football.
West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. Coming out on first down with the play fake. And the pass hits, picked off. He was thinking big return, didn't get that, but boy, did he give his offense an opportunity at the 31.
And that's just excellent cover. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board. You still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open. And if I'm the QB, man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it in the tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. Quarterback on the keeper. So many rivalries built on proximity, and Pitt and West Virginia have been squaring off in their backyard since 1895.
And it's just crazy to think about. A rivalry that goes that far back, so close to each other. It means so much for a year of bragging rights, Ballman.
Well, and the hate started in 1895, but every single year, every time these two teams play, you just see that on the field.
They're going to run it. Working his way and keeping those legs moving, picks up 5 down to the 14. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Going to work on second down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Here's the handoff. Not a lot of room down here. He's able to pick up 2. It's down at the 12. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. On third and short, the power run here. And they're able to get a third down stop here. See if they go for it on fourth. And on fourth down, here comes the field goal unit. Between the uprights, it's good. And now the lead is even bigger. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. New Mexico State is down, but they are not out of it. Not inside Aggie Memorial Stadium, one of the more fun places to watch a game in all of college football. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to South Carolina. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. The give to the tailback. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away. They'll try to move the chains on third and short from the 27. They'll try to power their way ahead. And he'll be taken down, but he does have enough for the first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Mountaineers with the 1st and 10. Right back to the well. And he's tackled, but there's also a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. Off play action on first down. Throws to the tight end. Got his man. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. He's going to pass. Quickly to the tight end. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. They'll move the running back to try to force the defense to adjust. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the back. They get him stopped at the 26, but boy, that was an attitude run. A pickup of 6. 6-yard pickup on first down. Leaves him with 2nd and 4. Looking to throw, it's Lawson. He makes the connection. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. Here they come up to the 23-yard line, not thinking field goal, wanting to convert this 3rd and short. He'll do it himself. Bulls his way forward. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down.
Hold it. Offense.
Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. They'll try to cap off this drive with a field goal. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out.
That makes the score. Pittsburgh 10, West Virginia 3.
After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. And generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
Just a short pass to the tight end. And he might be known for run fits, but that was a sure and heavy tackle on the tight end. 3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads to the wideout. A strike downfield. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the 1st.
Makes one man miss. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the 2nd. Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. It'll be a draw. Steamrolls his way ahead. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. Pitt will have to boot this one away. 2nd time today they've been forced to punt. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. West Virginia has it in the offense ready to go to work. They go to the ground. Brought down at the 25 after he picked up 10. They'll snap it from the 25 here on 1st down. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line. Got 8 on 1st down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Movement on the offensive line. That's going to be a false start, and they'll walk it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Offense gets set for 2nd down. Leaves it with the running back. They make the stop after a gain of 3 to the 31. Big third down coming from their own 31. Defense tries to get off the field. To throw, it's Lawson. And this is going to be incomplete on third down. The Mountaineers will punt it away on fourth down. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Now on the return. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. Line gets set, first down. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Got his man out of the backfield. And that will go backwards. A negative play, and that defense on high alert that time.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He didn't that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Lining up, trying to convert this third and short from the 40. From the gun, wants to pass. Getting some heat. And the freshman will chalk up a sack.
And really good job getting to the quarterback. That's priority number one, trying to get pressure on him. Get him to the ground as a bonus. They had 6 sacks in their last game. They got to keep building on that number if they want to keep stacking wins.
Pitt will line up to punt it away. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. He's got it. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stopped. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. They'll give it to the back. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the first. Defense a little too jumpy there, and they got into the neutral zone too soon.
Encroachment. Defense.
Contact in the neutral zone leads to that penalty. Good news for the offense. From the gun, the ground game. He has an extensive juke library, and he exhausted it and still didn't pick up much. He'll keep it himself. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34. And the Mountaineers are moving quickly down the field. He'll pull it on the read. And he's brought down after the spin move for a short gain. And on second down for this offense. Softened him up with a run. Now to throw. Right through his hands and incomplete, and he'll want that one back. It'll be third down. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the second down misfire. They're bringing heat. And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to a close.
This offense is going to have to come up with a plan to block this guy. He is an absolute monster, and he showed you all his tools on that sack.
They'll play it safe and send out the field goal unit. He boomed it through, a 50-yard field goal showing off that powerful leg. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Colorado is getting stomped. You could bring back any of the greats they've had there, Cordell Stewart or Rashaan Salam. None of them would make a difference today. They're trailing by 22 to Florida. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. From inside the 10, here he comes. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. Trying to start the drive with a pass. On target to the left. Still on his feet at the 45. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. Pitt right back to the line. Fast motion from the offense. He's looking for an open man on second down. And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Got quite a ways to go to keep this drive going. It's third down from the 45. He's looking downfield to throw. And his first pass is incomplete. Pitt will have to boot this one away. They'll have to punt for the fourth time today. And that is textbook instructional video. Out of bounds right around the goal line. They'll try the run. And he finds some solid space. Makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him. 8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with second and short. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to it. Really nice run there. Good, solid pickup, and they'll move the sticks with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll put the tight end in motion. The give from the gun. Works his way into the traffic and picks up 3 to the 17. Got 3 on first down and second and 7. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there. Got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Defense.
The offense needed something, just anything, to give them just a little breathing room, and the defense provided it with that penalty. To the air, it's Lawson. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming. Looking to throw for it. Got his man in the middle. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be first down. The Mountaineers are moving quickly down the field. Wants to throw on first down. Finds a tight end. And he was loose and out the gate and doesn't go down until he gets to the 48-yard line. The give out of the gun.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical, they wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Encroachment. Defense.
Defense couldn't quite hold its water, and it'll be 5 free yards for the O. On second down, looking to throw. He finds his man. And they do a really good job. Not as easy as it looks to get those blocks. And he picks up the first down. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Trying to impose their will on the ground as he stopped after a 5-yard pickup to the 33. Halfway there on first down, it's second and 5. Pressure coming. And he'll chuck that one away and save the down. Nobody was able to get open. They're looking at a third down and short from the 33. They try to pop a run on the draw. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. And on fourth down, they'll try to put 3 on the board. Splits the uprights, it's good.
Well, you're always going to wonder what woulda, coulda, shoulda happened on 4th and inches had they gone for it. But with this kicker, I like taking 3 points and putting it on the board.
So they were able to put up a 3 spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. Going up top on first down. Finds the tight end. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
Trying to find his man on first down. And the quarterback bought some time, but not enough. Down he goes with the sack. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. Quarterback on the keeper. Dances away again. And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks. Fires to the middle. What a snag by the defense. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Defensive backs have tough jobs. I mean, you think about whether you play nickel, whether you play dime, whatever it is, you put more DBs on the field. It's more speed. It's more guys that can cover, but they also got to cover that ground. But to cover the ground and make the pick, a lot of times you don't see that. Superb effort by that guy.
West Virginia has it in the offense ready to go to work. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and
that pressure just engulfed him. A sack for this defense. The hurry up now. Second down. Clock ticking. Looking to throw. It's Lawson. Feeling some heat. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. Going to the running game. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. And the Mountaineers send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Looking for running room, he'll get it to the 43-yard line before he stops. Here comes the offense on first down. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Trying to escape and get it himself. A really nice run and gain, and he gets down to avoid taking punishment. Now on first down from the 43. Looking to move it through the air. Fires to the big fella. And that was some kind of collision between a couple of big bodies there, and he stopped from getting the first down. Wide open downfield. Tackled after picking up the first down. And they bring him down, but did you see this freshman rifle that thing in there? We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out. So they get the late field goal right before the half, and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. They make the stop on the return, and that is priority 1. You don't want some big return to give up a cheap touchdown on the final play of the half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, between the coaches who have matched wits in this game and the players and the unforgettable moments, the Backyard Brawl is must-see TV, and today is no different. And we have to start this halftime breakdown by addressing the play of this elite wide receiver. This is clearly a young man who Once he's finished playing on Saturdays, he's going to be playing on Sundays. The kid has different gears. He has a knack for finding gaps in the defense. And I can't remember a college player with that kind of catch radius. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between West Virginia and Pittsburgh plays out.
They keep it on the ground to open the third. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain. Ball is at the 35. It's 1st and 10. He's looking to throw it. Gets it out fast. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They've come out with answers on this possession, and now another first down. From the shotgun, the inside give. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made. And you want to know what impact home field advantage can have? There it is. The offense will walk it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Now on 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Really nice stop there from this senior leader. How aggressive might this play call be on 3rd and short from the 46? Scanning the field, it's Lawson. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion? The Mountaineers decide to punt it away. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Excellent job on the punt. Bounces out of bounds at the 5, and they'll have 95 yards to go in front of them. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Pitt pushing the pace. Running back searching for a hole. That hole closed quickly. He'll get 1 out to the 6. 3rd and 10, still backed up inside their own 20. This drive hasn't really gotten started. From the gun, wants to pass. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. He'll get away another punt. He's been really active today, and no doubt he's going to earn his varsity letter. 1st down here for the offense. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Setting up the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there, and still plenty of ground to cover for the 1st down. To the ground with the back. Spins away from 1. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
Man, I want to be a running back in this offense. When you take that handoff to the right, you see that blocking and all the holes open up. That's a good sight for a running back.
You've heard of read and react. I think the defense read it. They just didn't react very well.
Well, when you got that kind of a line, just all that push they're getting on that right side, they just pushed the defensive lineman back, got in the linebacker's laps, and man, oh man, it was brutal up front.
They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Defense didn't maintain its discipline there, and they get into the neutral zone. It'll cost them 5 yards. So the offense gets a little bit closer to the goal line after the penalty. And the offense will take any help it can get, and it got a little. They go right back to their man on 2nd and goal. Touchdown, Mountaineers! And that one will give them the lead.
Well, I know it's early this season, but it's obvious already. This guy is a major weapon in this offense. Had 2 touchdowns in his first game. He's now on the board right now. What a difference maker and a playmaker he's going to be this season for this offense.
Lining up to add another.
Kicker on for the extra point.
And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. New Mexico State is down, but they are not out of it. Not inside Aggie Memorial Stadium, one of the more fun places to watch a game in all of college football. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to South Carolina. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. On second down, he'll fire. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Defense was not fooled by that screen to the back, and they'll stop him short of the marker. It'll be fourth down. Pitt will line up to punt it away. They're up to a half dozen kicks today. And the returner will be knocked down. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Squirts across the 30 to the 32, a pickup of 5. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. On the move, it's Harbor. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Offense.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
And if your job is to irritate, to confuse, to hit, to make quarterbacks feel very uncomfortable, this defense is definitely doing their job. 6 sacks. That's the way to make the quarterback feel like he's having a hard day. He's had no response. This offensive line has no response, just a sack party.
And the Mountaineers will send out the punt unit. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He'll field the punt and try to make something happen. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Here's a quick throw out to the left. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. And the Panthers headed quickly to the line. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And the first guy couldn't get him, but the second one does, but not until he picks up the first down. Just inside the 35, 1st and 10 from the 34. To the ground, he's got it again. Squeezes out a couple of yards down to the 32. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Off play action. Working the middle, it's complete. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Coming to the line of scrimmage at the 30. It would be a long field goal, but they'd love to pick up a few here on 3rd and long. Didn't have much of a choice, just had to throw that one away. It'll be 4th down. So this field goal unit has been getting the job done. They've already made a couple here today. He's got it, showing off that big leg from 47 yards out. All tied up and just about set to kick it away. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. West Virginia has it and the offense ready to go to work. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
Great job by the defense, understanding what they were seeing. They played the read game beautifully, strung it out. Quarterback continues to drift to his left. No space to get through. Tackle for a loss for this defense.
A first down sack can be a drive killer. Now it's 2nd and 13. It's a draw. And the defense makes a big hit and knocks him down. Fairly manageable distance here on 3rd down from the 27. And you can give all the credit to the crowd for that one. Offense, no chance, and call for the false start. Mental errors like that just kill drives. We'll see if they can overcome it. Looking to throw, it's Lawson. They're setting up the screen. And it's slipped out. Everybody needs a little luck, and the offense just got it by falling on that fumble. The Mountaineers have it with a 1st and 10. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. The give on the inside. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster. And the Mountaineers will punt this one away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. He'll field the punt and look for room. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Snags it quickly on the left. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
Yeah, nice job by the defense. That's what you're supposed to do. As soon as they catch the football, you want to limit that yards after the catch, and he went nowhere after the catch. Nice job.
And that pass is intercepted. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. Really nice focus by this sophomore, and he jumped on his chance to make a play.
As a quarterback, you've got to give your receiver an opportunity to make the play. You've got to put the ball on his body. And that throw gets away a little bit from the QB, and that leads to the tip and the interception.
West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. After punting the last time they had it, they ought to be set up for a much better result with this drive.
This offense better be licking their chops. You're not going to start with better field possession than this all game did.
You ain't lying. Forget about the last possession and what we did. You're already in scoring position. Take care of that football. Make sure you get some points.
Defense a little too jumpy there, and they got into the neutral zone too soon.
Encroachment. Defense.
So the early contact for the defense, and they'll move it up 5 yards. Back to throw, it's Lawson. It's complete. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater. Defense going all in to stop the run. Now the play fake. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
I think we need to see more creativity in the route running. We need some slants. We need some out-breaking routes. You're expecting man coverage down this area of the field, so you got to do something to create separation.
They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of settling for 3, but it is 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. He wants it all. He makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, West Virginia.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they cap things off with a 9-yard touchdown pass. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. Pulls and fires complete. Just finds that little crevice, and he's still up. And oh, he was off to the races after the catch, and they finally drag him down. He'll come out throwing on first down. He's got his man. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection. 3rd and short from the 44, and we might know if they plan to go for it on 4th down by what they call here. Shakes off the defender. They'll make the stop right there, but Pittsburgh moves the chains and they have a first down. After picking up a couple of first downs already on this drive, they'll snap it from close to midfield. If you like old-school running games, this has been the game for you and a couple of guys who starred through the first 3 periods. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic 4th quarter finish. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again.
Yeah, this coaching staff, they're getting this offensive line lathered up and into a rhythm. Now they're letting them drive off the ball on first down on these running plays, and they're getting chunks of yardage.
From the gun, they'll try the middle. They knock him down at the 40. It's a pickup of 5, and that will be enough for a first down. Pittsburgh going to work with a fresh set of downs. From the gun. Give on the inside. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. No huddle here for the offense.
And that would be the definition of first down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like nice first down execution.
Big drive for this offense late, trying to tie the game. They pieced together a couple of first downs, and here they come again. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain. Pitt right back to the line. They'll ride the hot hand. Got enough space, and he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Pitt! Follow the block. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point was good, and we are all tied up in the 4th. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Washington is trailing right now, but I'm old enough to remember the 2001 season where UW won the Rose Bowl and nearly won a title. If that group could find a way, there's hope for this team.
Quick completion on the out.
It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Boise State. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm.
Nowhere to run on now, and he loses 4 on the carry. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Defense.
The offense moved, but it was because the defender jumped into the neutral zone, and the offense will pick up the 5. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. Offense set on 1st down. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Quick completion on the out route. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Still some work to do after that last completion at 2nd down. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Pitt pushing the pace. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. He'll try to do it himself. It's a game of 1st downs, and they've got one after their own 37. Up-tempo for the offense.
Really nice time. Nice job by the quarterback. He drops back to pass, but how about saving your best for when it matters most late in the ballgame? Biggest run of the day in a big moment.
Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down. Pittsburgh has a really nice drive going.
Those outside runs, if they can get the edge like they do, great job by the right guard, right tackle, getting the edge. And now what does this do? This makes cornerback.
He's got it inside the 15. Touchdown, Panthers. And with that, they move out front here in the 4th.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
Ready to try the point after. The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. The kickoff unit about to go to work. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. West Virginia has it, and the offense ready to go to work. They'll go to the ground. He's brought down, but not before they pick up the big 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. On the ground, it's Harbor. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. Got 8 on 1st down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Dropping back, it's Lawson. He's right on target. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the 1st down mark. As they come to the line on 3rd and short from the 43, I wonder if they already know they'll go for it if they don't make it here. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. The Mountaineers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to go up top on 1st down. The freshman able to get home with the sack.
The defense is just killing. Success after success after success. If I'm the offense, I got to change something up, or my quarterback's going to be forced to change because he's going to be in the injury team.
First down sack, pushes it back. Now it's 2nd down. The inside handoff. Running with power. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Rolls it in. And he He almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. And the Mountaineers in the hurry-up.
There's a reason third down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at third down percentages, it tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
Let's see what they've got on second down. They'll run play action. Flushed out of the pocket. He got enough for the first down before sliding, but there is a marker on the field. It might be coming back. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. They'll run it from the gun. Smacks it with the stiff arm. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. They'll give it to him again. Staying physical in the red zone as he's pulled down after picking up 3 balls at the 14. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here. Wants to throw on third down. Pulls it in the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers.
Nice throw, nice catch, and I think we're going to see and hear a lot of that guy to that guy. A touchdown catch in game 1, now a touchdown catch in game 2. They're going to continue to find that playmaker throughout this season.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And no problem on that extra point, and we have a tie ball game here in the 4th. Coming down the stretch in the 4th, and we are all tied up, about set to kick it away. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tired.
And I think that's the difficulty being a play caller. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't put on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete. They couldn't make the connection on second down. Now a 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. It's caught downfield. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. That was a really well-run route on the curl to pick up the first down.
Yeah, and it's a nice job, too, by the receiver, getting his depth and then finding space in between the defenders, giving his quarterback a nice target.
Pitt right back to the line. From the gun to give, looking for room. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. At the 45, on his way. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
Tell you what, coaches want you to do your best work late in the ball game. He did his best work. Great job taking off. Biggest run of the day after grinding this game out, makes it explosive. Now trying to put this game in a good situation.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. A touch out of field goal range. They need to pick up yards quickly on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Buying some time. The quarterback scrambled around, but the defense able to scramble him and turn it into a sack.
And come on now, O-line, you got to take care of your quarterback. He takes care of you. He's the one who takes you to meals. He's the one that gets you those NIL deals. Everything happens through your quarterback. You got to keep him upright. That is your #1 priority.
Pitt will have to boot this one away. He'll try to really get into this one. Gets it away, solid distance, but more importantly, trying to keep it away from that return man. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? Would you be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense?
After the second down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw, it's Lawson. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. And couldn't quite find the crevice he needed to pick up the first down. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. 4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Here's the return. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. A first down for the offense. He wants to throw. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited. 2nd down after that incompletion. He's looking to throw. Catch in the middle, it's Morgan. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Let's see what they find in the playbook for 3rd and long from the 43. From the gun, wants to pass. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. Pitt will line up to punt it away. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. West Virginia has it in the offense ready to go to work. A pretty good bit of ground to cover here, Jesse, but they've got some time to work with.
They do, so tempo is going to be important. You got to go fast. You just got to make good decisions at the quarterback position.
And those good decisions are throwing the ball beyond the sticks, using the sidelines to get out of bounds, trying to maximize this time and get in a position to win.
They'll throw it on 1st down. Quarterback floating away from pressure. At the 40, there he goes. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. They're down to the 32-yard line on 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Fires to the middle. And his throw is incomplete. Couldn't make the connection on 1st down. Now here on 2nd. Back to throw, it's Lawson. Looking to the big tight end. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. This drive was clicking along, but after a couple of misfires, threatening to stall out on 3rd and 10. Works his way through the traffic, and he picks up 8 yards on the play, and this one's much more manageable on 4th and 3. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. And that is no good. After that failed field goal attempt, fellas, still tie ball game.
Man, that's tough for the kicker. Here you are in the 4th quarter. You're trying to break this tie, give your team the lead, and knock it off the elbow.
The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. There's enough time to get the ball down the field here, David, but you've got to make sure you're efficient and avoid mistakes.
Yeah, and those 2-minute drills.
And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Not much time left, but the offense has a shot to end this one in regulation. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. He'll just throw it away, and it'll be 4th down. Pitt will have to boot this one away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. He gets a block. Great move there. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. There's still a little bit of work to do for this offense to get within field goal range, Jesse.
Right, so let's see this quarterback here manage this situation and put his team in a position to win, David.
No doubt. Still got a timeout. Still can attack all areas of the field. I know exactly what I need.
Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there. The offense uses a timeout. 15 seconds left to play. He's looking to throw on 3rd and short. Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play. The Mountaineers will try to pin them back with the punt. The ball hits at the 5, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. 1st down for this offense. Use the play fake, now to throw. Looking to the big tight end. He's got him wide open. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a 1st down. 4 quarters, not enough to settle this one. We're headed to overtime.
And these teams have played so well, back and forth, evenly contested game. How about a little free football, Jesse?
Yeah, I love this, David. Free football. I'm finding out which of these two teams is the most mature. Who can settle down now with the game on the line and make the big play?
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime. And just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possession starting on the opponent's 25.
And you want to play defense first because you want to know what you need. That's a key philosophical approach for most teams when it comes to overtime, David.
Yeah, and remember the rule change a couple years ago, too, and the second overtime and 2-point conversion. So all this stuff is situational type football that you better have worked on throughout these weeks of the season.
The give to the back. Tackle is made after a pickup of 6 down to the 19-yard line. Got 6 on 1st down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. He's looking to throw. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! And they're on top here in overtime. This is like a baseball pitcher that can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
Yeah, it just gets in the zone, right? When you can't miss, you've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making you feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
Now to push the lead to 7 in overtime. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Now on 1st down, they need to answer with a touchdown. Comes out throwing on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. And the senior would love to have that one back. Just a little too much on the pass. 2nd down coming up. Back to pass, it's Lawson. On the run, still looking. Going to try to get it himself. And this one will be stopped for no gain. 3rd down in overtime, and they need to get it to the end zone. Coming after it. And he can't find a receiver, and down he goes.
And that is a major reason why this team is losing the football game. They can't protect the quarterback. They can't generate big plays in the passing game because up front, they're getting beaten time and time again.
Fourth and long, and they have to pick it up to keep their chances alive. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Can't make the grab. The desperation 4th down play, and this one is over. My pulse rate is still through the roof on this game. I would have called that one for free. Wait, I don't want to get carried away there, but it was a really fun game and a great win.
It really was. I know we're all up here. We're bouncing around. We're excited after having seen what we just saw. What a great win for this team to go out and do it in overtime. That's the type of game that fans are going to be talking about for a long time, Dave.
Yeah, right.
If you know Reese Davis, that is not happening, but we got a free game that was awesome, back and forth, nip and tuck, and bonus time. You got some free overtime play in that one.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.